Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to your tarot reading. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. Either way, thank you so very much for being here, and thank you for sharing your energy with me. I do appreciate it. Be sure and follow, subscribe on TikTok and YouTube for me so that I can grow my collectives. If you are new, I'm going to pull a traditional Celtic cross spread today. Whatever message comes out is the one that you need to hear. That's the intention I have set with spirits. And then I did bring out my oracle deck as well, so we will pull a couple of the oracle cards at the end, get some last minute messages from spirit or any additional messages that they would like to tell us, and kind of wrap everything up with those. So let's get into your tarot reading. Death card, that's your card, Scorpio. King of Swords. The Sun, nice. Knight of Pentacles. King of Wands, Knight of Cups, Four of Wands, Six of Swords, Three of Pentacles, the Lovers, very interesting. Underneath we have the Magician. So the Magician is all about manifesting, bringing in what you desire, knowing that you have the tools to do so. But it's also like an action card, taking action, going towards what it is that you want to bring into fruition. So I feel like this is like the underlying, like you're just kind of manifesting and taking action on towards those manifestations and desires that you're calling in right now. The situation here is transformation, change, endings and beginnings. I feel like maybe you're just kind of going through, you could be going through like an ego death right now, but definitely some endings and transitions are wanting to take place here. A new beginning is wanting to take place. So the blockage on that is the King of Swords. The King of Swords is an air sign. It doesn't actually have to be an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It could be them blocking you, an actual person. But I feel like this is more just the energy. The King of Swords is about clarity and truth. So I feel like maybe you don't have a lot of clarity on endings and beginnings right now. Whatever that situation is for you, whatever your manifestation is, this could have to do with your stability. It could be a relationship. It's probably different for each of you, but this has something to do with embracing transformation and embracing endings so that new beginnings can come in. I just feel like there's some clarity needed. Maybe you're not very clear on this transition. And this has to do with your happiness. So the Sun card is all about abundance, growth, joy, happiness. It is like, it's my favorite card in the deck because it's just all about growth, abundance, happiness, self-confidence, that vitality for life. And I feel like maybe you're just not very clear on whatever this transition is that you're making. Maybe you're going through like some kind of spiritual awakening or some type of a move, a transition into a different phase of life, a different chapter in life, and you're not very clear about where you're going right now, and that's kind of affecting your happiness. The recent past, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is a new stable offer. This is a new stable beginning. So again, with the, focusing on stability, focusing on goals, this is like the long haul card, the focusing on long-term goals, long-term stability. Maybe you are transitioning into, a new stable beginning, and it's kind of affecting your happiness, whatever that is for you again. So your higher self, we have the King of Wands. This is fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag, but this is also about again, confidence, optimism. He's an entrepreneur, like leader. But it's also about stepping into seeing like that King of Wands energy, seeing things from a bigger picture, like a bird's eye view. Maybe you're just trying to see the bigger picture in this transformation, in this change towards your stability and your happiness. Maybe you ended things and you're kind of, this could be like an ending to a marriage, an ending to a job. It's an ending to a chapter in your life for sure. And you're transitioning and moving into something new. And, that's like towards your goals, towards the long term, whatever that is for you. In the near future, we have the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is about emotional fulfillment. It is about, it could be about romance and, new romantic offer coming in here. But this is also just about you kind of going after what your heart desires, following your heart, following your intuition, letting your intuition and your heart guide you on this rather than, using your head and logic and not having clarity on things. I feel like maybe you are just opening up to your intuition and following your heart here. Your advice from Spirit is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is about your home, your stability. This is also about joy and happiness. So I feel like Spirit's just telling you to focus on your joy and happiness and your accomplishments with, that could be accomplishments with your loved ones. Maybe focus on that joy with your family. Focus on the joy in your home. But just focus on the accomplishments that you have made so far. Try not to focus on things that didn't work out. Try to focus on the new beginnings coming in here and the stability and that joy and happiness. Yeah, in your immediate environment, the influence here is the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is moving on, again, in the transition, the change. So you're right in the middle of this transitioning, changing, moving to calmer waters. So things are going to calm down. Maybe you've had, like I said, something in the past here that was an ending, but now you're kind of letting go and releasing that and moving on to calmer waters, transitioning into this new life. Because you have two knights here, which are like newer energy. And then your hopes and fears, we have the Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles is about your work. It's about your work being seen, but it's also about like teamwork and collaboration with others. So maybe you're wanting to be seen by others at work, or you're wanting to be seen for your talents and your the work that you do, whatever that is for you. And maybe that's the transition you're making. Maybe you're moving into new work and you're wanting that to be seen. So again, this could be, you growing in work or a relationship. The overall outcome, we have the Lovers. So we have union, we have partnership. This is also about like making a choice. Like ultimately you make a decision or make a choice here. But this could be like a union coming together. Some of you, if you're looking for love, then there is a union coming in here, or a partnership. That could be why you're wanting to work with others and you're wanting your work to be seen. This could be a partnership in work. It could be love as well. So it's going to be different for each of you. Whatever it is that you're manifesting and calling in for yourself is what's coming in for you, because you've gone through this transition and this change. Let's see. What do they not see coming, spirits? What does Scorpio not see coming? So we have the High Priestess, the Fool. Nice. Oh, damn. Usually I take 3, 4 of them came out, which is fine. That happens sometimes, but they're all major arcana. So this is a pretty big deal. I mean, you had major arcana at the beginning and the end of your spread. So, you started with the Death card transitioning, and then you ended with the Lovers, which is a decision or a union here. But so this was the High Priestess came out first. So trusting your intuition on this new beginning and this leap of faith, this inner knowing that this new beginning is going to work out, because you have the completion here. You have the World, which is like the completion of a cycle, but it's also like victory, and it's the end of the major arcana. And then you have the Fool. So you end with the World card and then you start with the Fool card. So you are completing like a whole cycle, the endings, like this. It's like textbook Tarot 101, the endings and beginnings. And then there's forward movement to victory here after these cycles are ended. But trust your intuition that in this new beginning, trust your inner knowing on taking that leap of faith, and the ending of cycles after, whatever that ending was. There's a new cycle here. There's completion and victory, and there is forward movement here. So I love this. This is amazing energy. Very good energy. Huge energy, because there's lots of major arcana. And then we had on the bottom was the Magician. So lots of transformation here. You've been through like a big transformation. So this could have been, like an ending to some sort of like belief system, and ending to some type of life, and then moving into a whole new chapter in life, whatever that is for you. A whole new career, whole new spiritual beginning, whole new lifestyle, marriage. Maybe you ended a marriage and you're moving into, being on your own. Whatever you've been manifesting for yourself, whatever this big lifestyle change is, it's a big change, but it's going to work out for the better. This looks really, really great. So, what do they need to focus on? Actions and advice, please, spirits, for Scorpio. Awesome. Yeah, so we have the Three of Cups, focus on joy and happiness, celebrations with loved ones. We have the Queen of Wands, which is Cancer, Scorpio, that's you. Fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag energy. So I feel like this is just you kind of finding your joy and your self-confidence again, and taking like leadership and control of your life and this situation. And, maybe that's opening you up to more joy, more happiness, like Spirit was telling you, focus on your joy and happiness. And then the Sun card was, the root of this. When you're going through this change and getting clear about things, then that brings in your happiness. So I feel like that's definitely you. Like, just focus on your joy and happiness. Maybe celebrate with friends and family members. Focus on your relationships, your friend groups, your social groups, and step into that Queen of Wands, that self-confidence energy. And then with the Emperor, it's about taking control and leadership in a situation in your life. Again, it's a major arcana, so it's a pretty big deal. But I absolutely love this for you, Scorpio. I feel like there's just a huge, huge new beginning on the horizon here. And that could be what this, this overall outcome is, like a decision to move into a whole new beginning, a decision to get this clarity and move forward. But either way, like, it's going to be amazing. Like, huge transition, huge transition. Let's see. What else does Scorpio need to know, spirits? Pull from the oracle here and get you any additional messages Spirit wants to give you. So we have chaos and conflict. And then we have yin, which is feminine energy. So I'll start with the chaos and conflict since it came out first. It's number 33. Maybe the number 33 resonates for some of you. Chaos and conflict. Disarray, being at cross purposes with another, the tension of opposites, the value of chaos before order. Opposing forces come together to create a turbulent atmosphere, but consider the value of chaos that serves you well as you become unmoored by it. Scattered to the winds, you leave behind the parts of yourself you no longer need and disperse seeds to reinvent yourself anew. Although the conflict appears to exist externally, its essence is also internal, projected outward and causing disarray. You may find yourself at a cross purpose with someone else, facing a storm you feel you can't control. Yet every storm passes and chaos leads to a reordering of things. Conflict provides a way to see more than one side of a situation. Look upon this as just a moment in time when you may need to take shelter to step away from the fray. Don't be too eager to fight. This is a time to understand rather than to be understood. I feel like that's the transition. Like, you're going through, this heavy transition and gaining clarity about your happiness, but also about, moving into new chapters in your life. I feel like this chaos, you're right at the end of this chaos and conflict and moving into a whole new life, because that's what you have coming in soon, is that, the completion of a cycle and that whole new beginning and moving forward. So then we had yin energy, which is the number 2. That may resonate. The feminine principle of receptivity, letting someone else make the first move, gathering information and taking in cues, and the art of conscious allowing. This is a time of calculated receptivity, and you gracefully await what is coming to you, ready to accept it when it appears. Yin does not involve frozen dreams or even resting, but rather consciously allowing things to flow to you, poised to receive the bounty that will be made available to you. It implies sensitivity as you alertly study the actions of others and contemplate how they will affect you and yours. Remember, you must make space for miracles to appear. Be the shaped, not the shaper, and you will see how quickly your dreams manifest. I love that. Very good energy. Yeah. Again, with the manifestation. So I feel like that's the energy you're sitting in. You're just manifesting this whole new beginning for you. And I feel like that chaos and conflict is right at the end of this because, like I said, right here in the what you don't see coming in the near future, we have that Fool and that following your heart. You're just going through a transition right now, but things are going to open up really soon. And I feel like they're going to move pretty quickly when they do. So I hope this helps, Scorpio, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.